What is up, everybody? My name is Justin. This is Forever Self-Employed, all about pressure washing and quote IQ. And in today's video, we're going to be doing another Friday Q&A with Mike and Justin, specifically Justin, because Mike's answers always suck. But Mike, how's it going, man? My point exactly.
Yeah, exactly. It's good, man. It's Friday. It's payday. That means I can go and pay the bills and stuff.
Mike's got a joke that we got to wait till Friday because that's when payday is, right, Mike?
I always joke about payday on Friday because it's funny to me. Every single time I say it, I laugh.
I think it's one of the best parts about being self-employed is pretty much every day is payday, which is
if you bust your ass and you do the right things.
Yeah, that's true. We can get into some of that. Josh Leonard is with us. Josh, what's up, man? We appreciate you, and we also appreciate you for your service. So thank you for your service. So me and Mike are going to get into some specific things that happened this week, kind of break out some stories, some things that we learned. And if you guys have any questions, let us know down in the comment section. What's going on, guys? Pristine window cleaning in the house.
What's up?
Josh says service these nuts. Paul says M&J. That sounds kind of like a PB&J. That sounds pretty good.
I do. I like that.
Now, Mike, you like PB&Js, or I know you're a carnivore. You don't eat all that. So.
Yeah, no, dude. So carb-free wrap, peanut butter and jelly, delicious. Roll it up, so it's almost like a little PB&J sushi wrap, sushi roll.
It's not really carb-free though, right? Like,
well, it's as carb-free as you can get.
Okay. So guys, we're going to jump right into it. Mike, I know we wanted to talk about a couple of things that, happened this week, some things that we're kind of working through. You want to lead it off?
As far as what, like my business?
Yeah, just things that are going on in the business. Joseph is here with us live for the first time.
What's up, Joseph?
It's always like I can imagine Joseph watching because I can see his little avatar.
Yeah, I can see him. Anyway, so I'd made a video a week or so ago about this rust removal job that we were doing for the club in my neighborhood. They had called and we're trying to get it done, get us on the schedule to get it done. Our deadline was the 10th, and if I'm not mistaken, today is the 11th. And we're overdoing it right now. And it's not it's not because of our scheduling. The landscaper that was responsible, because they were doing, I think they got like 288, some odd number of new plants from like 200 gallon down to 5 gallon. Like that's a lot of planning. They brought in all new dirt, ground cover. I think they were doing pine straw in some areas, bark in others, but an immense amount of work. Laying sod. And so we were going in and we surface cleaned everything in preparation for the rust cleaning. We did not do one section where they were doing all the planning. So yesterday we went back, they got finished with the plannings. We were able to do that, get that done. And then today we were hoping they were going to be done so we could get in and finish the remainder of the sidewalks. And Mac is over there right now taking care of that. But it was one of these things where we were supposed, the landscaper was supposed to be done, have all the plants in the ground last Saturday. And I had, scheduled Monday to perform all of the stuff that we did, that we needed to get done. And it's just been a nightmare trying to work with the landscaper. Fortunately, it's right around the corner, so I could kind of monitor when I was, in and out of the house. But so it's done. Nice job too. I hate when things linger. We also had another one. You guys may have recalled, I did a video on some, we got this contract with a bunch of, what are they called? Credit unions. And the guy that's our point of contact had called and he was like, hey, we need to get the roof done on this one building, all the gutters cleaned out and the drive-through for the, the ATM and the tellers. And I was like, yeah, but they're open during the day. So, that means night work. And, we had a hurricane come in and it was just like everything was getting pushed back. This week sucked with just washing in general because of all the wind. And granted, we had a little bit of wind. The people in Florida absolutely devastated. So prayers out to all of those people and anybody that's watching from Florida. I hope you guys are doing well. And to the folks in North Carolina as well that got hit with that last one. Terrible. But, so I shouldn't even complain about a little wind. But yeah, it's just been a kind of a strange week, Justin.
How dare you, Mike? People lost their houses and you're complaining because you can't do a little washing in the wind?
I know.
I'm just kidding.
I
We're
had
just
to put
having fun.
down all of my giant Halloween people last night or
Did they
night before
blow?
last because of the wind. I didn't
You had to
want them to
pick
get.
them up?
Well, no, I set them all down. These are like, I think they're 18 feet, 12 feet. I don't remember how tall they are. They're giant, but I got a bunch of them, and I had to put them all down so they didn't get blown over.
It happens to the best of us. Sometimes we
Yeah.
have to put our lawn decorations down so they don't get blown over. Brandon
Yeah.
Hodge is with us. What's up, Brandon? Dude, Emmanuel watching from Germany. That's pretty
Nice.
cool, man. I don't know anybody who's ever watching from Germany. Velez says, when post treating, do you guys recommend using straight SH or SH with surfactant?
When post treating, you guys recommend using we wouldn't ever post treat with straight SH. It would either be downstreamed or blended with a blend manifold. So we wouldn't be putting a straight, bleach on anything. And we don't use surfactant for concrete.
Exactly. One of the things about surfactant with concrete is it suds up. Really, it suds up. Is that a word,
It
Mike?
suds up.
It suds up, and it makes things a lot harder. Some people are like, "Oh, I want to put surfactant in my pre-treatment," and it's like you can, but it's going to be a big mess because it's all going to be sudsing up as you're kind of cleaning it, and so it's never a good way to go. George says, "Have you ever cleaned asbestos siding, Mike?"
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Do you remember the house that we destroyed with the paint?
Yeah, that
was asbestos siding.
Damn, that's says it all right there. I do want to make you guys aware of one thing. We are going to be doing a class. It's coming up really soon, and it's 1 week away. So if you guys want to land more jobs with Facebook, I'm doing a live Facebook workshop. The workshop is next Thursday at 6:30 Eastern. It'll be the first link in the comment section and the description. In it, I'm going to do a in-depth breakdown of a Facebook ad that got us over $80,000 in quotes. I'm going to tell you guys about my video ad structure, how I structure the ad and the copy, how I set up the back end of the ad so I can maximize for conversions and so I don't waste all my money, because guys are doing like little mistakes that'll waste tons and tons of money and really kill your conversions. So if you guys are interested, definitely be sure to check it out. Yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. First link in the comment section and the description. Let's see. John says, what was the new car you were driving, Mike? Are you ready to disclose any of that, or are we keeping that under wraps?
No, I mean, I got an extra vehicle.
John, you got to join the OnlyFans for that kind of action.
Yeah.
3% or downstream with 4-in-1 EBC in a 5-gallon pail.
EBC is Enviro Bio Cleaner. I don't know. I mean, there are a ton of chemicals out there which really are not needed, right? They're everybody is selling a surfactant or this or that or the other. I think really in some scenarios, really steep roofs, stucco siding where you need the chemical to stay on longer, get increased dwell time. Like there are definitely reasons to use various surfactants or soaps, if you will. We don't use them on any house washes. We will use them on roof washes. And then of course, all of the other specialty chemicals, rust removers, efflorescence, wood restoration products. All of these are products that definitely you should have on the truck, and always be upselling those things.
Boom. Always keep extra things on the truck. Kenny says, we are back. Indeed, we are. We're back. We're here. We're ready to roll. TJ says, how helpful are GMB backlinks? Found a service that inserts keyword backlinks on a large scale. I think like anything you can do with regards to SEO and make it easier for people to find your stuff is going to help out. I think with a lot of marketing things, there's so many things that we can do. And so some marketing things tend to bring a lesser of a return. So I would say make sure you're maximizing on all the other fronts of your marketing first and foremost. And then we can start working on like some of the minutiae of like backlinks and things of that nature. That's my personal opinion. What do you think, Mike?
I mean, I think that it's something that you should be doing all of the time. It's just constant, right? Like it's all about consistency. It's all about repetition. It's all about putting your name out there as many times in as many ways as you can. And, you know, backlinks are a great way to do it. You got to be careful because there are good backlinks and there are bad backlinks. And yes, you can pay somebody to do that. But when you're paying somebody, a lot of times, like if you're going to Fiverr or places like that, they're trash and they're serving you no benefit. So just be very careful.
Yep, exactly. And like I said, like, you know, anyway, how diversified are you? Make sure that you got a good marketing mix. Dude, Josh is a funny guy. You know what I'm saying? So, and he's a military man, and he says service these nuts. You know what I'm saying? So, we appreciate it, Josh. Thank you for hanging out. Mike, I want to talk a little bit about callbacks. We got a callback this week on some windows because we didn't rinse them properly. So, Mike, do you guys get callbacks? How do you handle that with regards to how busy your guys' schedule?
So back in the day when I was running a bunch of different trucks, a bunch of different crews, quality control wasn't where it was at. We didn't have the SOPs in place that we do now, standard operating procedures. And I wasn't paying my guys what I'm trying to think. I was cheap and I was paying people less than they should have been paid. Well, let me take that back. The people that I was hiring were worth every penny that I was paying them, right? Were they worth more than what I was paying them? Absolutely not. But when you start paying a higher wage, you get a higher caliber of person. And so our callbacks declined when I started really going through my vetting process of how I hired, who I hired, making sure I wasn't hiring out of desperation. Just, I didn't need warm bodies. I needed representatives of my company that were going to be good stewards of our name, of our company, of our equipment. And when you compensate accordingly, you get good people. And when you get good people, you can train them to do exactly the things the way that you want them to be done. And so that's when we stopped getting callbacks. Callbacks used to be such a nuisance. It was like anytime a customer would call, I'd be like this. Be like, oh shit, like what are they going to complain about? When I had my landscape business, it was the same thing. I was paying substandard wages. And because of that, I was getting substandard employees and substandard work, which was not a good thing. Like I'd be at the grocery store and I'd see some of my customers, like lawn care customers, and I'd be like, oh shit, I'd go the other way because I was embarrassed because I knew the quality wasn't where it was going to be. That was on me. I wasn't paying enough. I learned, and now we've got great people who do a great job, and we don't have callbacks. But ultimately, all of it comes back to hiring the right people, having the right SOPs in place, right? If you are rinsing, if you're pressure washing a house, if you're soft washing a house, if you're doing a roof job, you need to rinse those windows 10 times, right? And that 10th time, when you think it's done, rinse them one more time. Excuse me. Spotted up windows, chemical on windows was our biggest callback. That was the number one thing because they weren't taking the time to rinse everything off properly. And so, you know, it is what it is.
Exactly. Hire good people, train them right, and
pay them good.
They'll do a good job. Yeah, I think a lot of times whenever you start getting a lot of callbacks is when you're rushing stuff, and so that's you know what we've seen too. So it's really taking the time, making sure everything thoroughly. You know what I mean? Payne's Pressure Washing is with us. What's up, man? We appreciate you for hanging out. What are good ways to advertise, Mike? Anything that gets your business in front of as many eyeballs as possible is a good way to advertise. So,
and you know, fun boy, watch our channels, tune into these lives, and you're going to have a ton of information on advertising, on marketing, on customer acquisition, on how to get these people, you know, your business in front of these people. That's what Justin and I do, right? We are by definition marketing guys. We are sales guys. That's what we do. Justin has got a phenomenal grasp of advertising as far as Facebook and Google, and you know he's really honed the skills there, and that's why we're doing the training on next Thursday for the Facebook ads. Right? He's going to impart his wisdom and knowledge to you guys, so you can get in there and do what he does. I mean, he's ever since I started kind of implementing what Justin does with Facebook ads, we are converting at a significantly higher rate than we ever had in the past. And it's costing us less money. And, it's good shit.
That's sweet to say, Mike. So if you guys are interested, join the workshop. I don't know if we're ever going to do another one of these. It's live Q&A. I'm going to break down a bunch of stuff with regards to Facebook. You guys definitely want to check it out. It's the first link in the comment section and the description. So appreciate you. But Fun Boy, get your stuff in front of as many people as possible. And small percentage of those people are actually going to convert into customers. But that's why cast the biggest net that you can, with regards to getting them. Is $375 for a house wash an average size house good? I think it's pretty good.
George, you've been doing this a while. That is a question that I'm surprised you're asking. I mean, I know you've been in this for at least 2 years, and I know it's part-time, but still, you need to, is $375 good for a house wash? I'm about to put out a video on understanding costs, understanding every aspect of your business so you can know if $375 is good. What's it cost you? How much gas are you using? How much bleach? What's your overhead? How much are you paying yourself for that job? And then you look at the profit margin at the end of it and you say, okay, I can live with this or I can't live with this. And that's the answer. But also other things come into consideration, right? You may be good with making $25 an hour, right? But I'm willing to bet that your competition in the marketplace that you're in doesn't want to make $25. So if you go in and, undercut the market and are willing to work for basically free, then you're hurting not only yourself and your bank account, but you're hurting your business and the business in the market, and you're driving it down. And that's the last thing. So understand your market, understand your numbers, and then figure out, if those things coincide and they work for you. So.
Yeah, I like Payne's response. George, the better question is $375 good for you? Yeah.
And Tyler, I appreciate that, right? But that's not the better question. Because like I said, if George has got $220 in overhead, right? And I don't think he does. And then, and that's including what he's paying. No, it doesn't matter what's good for George, because George could just be and I'm not talking specifically about George, but George could just be some brokey, right? And he's just happy to make enough to buy a beer, but that's killing the market. And you need to know what the market is doing.
Joseph answered this question perfectly. It's all in quote IQ.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Thank you, Joseph.
Check out the what is it? The
dashboard analytics
close ratio. Right. Yeah. Know your close ratio. Land between 50 and 60%. And you're gonna be
for all you quote IQ users out there, we are doing a revamp on the dashboard, which is gonna look awesome. Going to have some more information so you can even get deeper dive into your business and understand, all the inner workings even better. So very, very exciting.
It's going to be really good. It's going to be more intuitive. You're actually going to be able to mess with it, and it's going to look better. And so be on the lookout for that. We'll let you guys know when it's coming. The new dashboard. Not new. It's just been updated. I know every job is different, but what's the general amount of time training should last? Training or the job should last. I don't know.
Where is that?
It's on the screen. Maybe how long should a job last, Mike, or take?
I know every job is different, but a general amount of time training should last. I'm so confused.
How long should a job take? An average job for a house wash, roof washer, driveway cleaner?
Yeah, I mean, a 5,000 square foot house is going to take longer than a 1,200 square foot house. A vinyl siding house is going to take less time than a stucco house. Like a really dirty driveway is going to take longer than a not so dirty driveway. A driveway is going to take a lot less time if you've got an 8 gallon per minute machine versus a 2.5 gallon per minute machine. Too many variables to ask.
Absolutely. Okay. Plus your training. How long you been doing it for? Plays a factor in it. Brandon Hodge says, loving quote IQ, quote time cut in half.
Love
Absolutely. It's the best, man. It's the best. And if it's not the best, tell us why it isn't, and we'll make it better. How do you prepare for winter when it's freezing, especially your equipment? Winterizing equipment?
Yeah, I mean, you definitely got to winterize your equipment. If you are going to be still continuing to work throughout the winter, then you will need to either, and draining is not the answer. I think introducing a antifreeze into your pump your lines is the best way to do it, and there's multiple ways that you can do that. I know some guys blow out their all of their lines with air, but again, I think probably the best bet is just to use an antifreeze and then just recycle it every night. If you're keeping, like ideally you can keep it inside. Someone else just said put a heated blanket over your generator. There's no generators on pressure washers. It's a pump, which is the main thing. But you got to think about it. All of the tubing, all of the hoses, everything, depending on what your setup is. There's great opportunity to freeze. Like your big water tank probably isn't going to freeze overnight, right? Because there's so much volume. But then if you've just got a little bit of a hose, right, and maybe it's 5 feet long and there's water in there, that's going to freeze a lot faster. And then when stuff freezes, it expands. And if you've got water in your pump and it freezes and expands, you can have some significant damage. So you definitely want to do everything you can to prepare.
Take it all apart and throw it in the trash can. You know what I mean? It can't
This
freeze.
is a great comment from TJ.
First month in business, wanting to upload one photo a day to GMB with your before and after pack, but I live in Savannah. Do you think your customer base may see it?
Yeah, my guess is no one's going to see it because you're just starting. It's going to take a while.
I wouldn't double post those to GMB though. I just feel like Google's got to know if you post the same pictures to the GMB, huh?
What do you mean?
Two separate companies are posting the same images?
I probably have never posted any of them.
Oh, okay. Well, anyway.
But no, I don't think anybody is gonna. I don't think they're monitoring that. I mean, how many pick packs have we sold?
Yeah, I have some of those pictures on mine too, so I'm sure it's fine.
Yeah, it's fine. TJ, okay. What's the name of your business? And make sure you get your pricing right so you're not undercutting the market. Otherwise, I'll come after you.
Michael Burns says, "What's up, fellas? What's up, Michael? Appreciate you for hanging out, man." Michael's looking like a spiffy gentleman.
Michael,
love your window cleaning vid.
Good. Quote IQ ads is what he's talking about.
Is that what he's talking about?
I would assume so. And if anybody is interested in running some ads on Facebook, on Google, on really anywhere that you can post, these are great little ads that we've created for pretty much every service that anybody could possibly provide in the home service industry. We've got window cleaning, we've got roof cleaning, mobile detailing, dryer vent cleaning, you name it, we've got it, lawn care. And long story short, these things are made to run basically for Facebook ads. And they're unbelievably cheap. They come customized with your logo, your company name, a custom voiceover with your, all of that stuff. So very cool. Every service, high quality, music.
It's good stuff. It's good stuff. We're also doing a live workshop on Facebook. So if you haven't checked it out already, first link in the comment section description. That'll also be linked though, if you guys want to check out those videos. Do you guys do Christmas lights?
We don't. I mean, I have somebody put them up at my house. And I love Christmas lights. And Christmas lighting is a phenomenal business to get into. It's something that will allow you to, we hear a lot of folks talk about, concerns of staying busy and making money over the winter. Well, if you get into Christmas lights, you're going to be able, in the matter of, 2.5 months, essentially, you can probably at least make how much you were making in your wash business if you do it properly, if you know what you're doing, if you're marketing it properly, if you're getting in front of the right customer base. And we've actually got, you brought it up. We've got a Christmas light boot camp that you can, check out. It's at pwcourse.com. And the Christmas light training is phenomenal. Glenn Jernigan put it together. He makes, hundreds of thousands of dollars every season and absolutely crushes. And he teaches you everything that you need to know in order to successfully operate a Christmas light business. So check that out. And it's super cheap, but this is the time now where you want to start marketing because it's an underserved niche. More people are getting into it, but right now is the time because you're going to start putting up lights in November. So
absolutely. There's another good question that I saw. Tyler says, smash the thumbs up. We appreciate that, man. TJ says, Doc Jones pressure washing.
Awesome. I'll be on the lookout for you, TJ.
If you get a 1-star review from a random, I'm just kidding, DJ.
I would never do that.
It may or may not be. I'm just joking. You wouldn't do that.
TJ, what kind of equipment are you running? I would love to maybe have you on the channel, do a little walkthrough of your equipment, how you started, stuff like that.
Could be fun. Where can I find the ads? You can find the ads at qiqads.com. And yeah, qiqads.com. And it'll be linked in the comment section description as well. But yeah, that's where all these ads are at.
What's up, Todd?
Okay, Todd's here. What's happening, boys? Who else do we want to give a shout out to? Shouts out to Purcell Line Striping. He says laying 45 ton asphalt driveway. Got to cycle back to the live. Great stuff, guys. We appreciate it, man.
That seems like a lot of asphalt.
That is a hefty amount of asphalt. Todd is another guy. I know we had some people asking about Christmas lights. Todd actually does shrink wrapping of furniture, wrapping of boats. Come wintertime, he does very well with it. I have a whole video on my channel of me and Todd breaking down a bunch of different aspects of that particular business. This guy had a question with regards to pricing. I actually have a pricing video on my channel as well on how to quote an entire Christmas lighting job using Quote IQ. So either check out the course, check out that video, but that'll probably answer all your pricing questions.
He said something interesting though. He's talking about the pricing, providing lights, takedown, storage, all of that stuff. My conversion rate is low and people are afraid as far as the money. So my question is, how are you going to market? How are you getting in front of these people? Who are you targeting specifically? Because yes, Christmas lights are not cheap. I can't remember how much mine cost, but it was not cheap. And but like we are super into the holidays and decorating. And so for me, it's worth every penny. I'm not scared of the price because it's something that I want. And I know that there's a lot of people out there like me. And I know that like there's a lot of businesses that are doing Christmas lights that are absolutely crushing. So you need to ask yourself who you're targeting and how you're going about targeting them, right?
Absolutely, because that's going to determine a lot. Also, how you kind of pre-screen people on the front end. Let them know, this is a high-ticket service, that your minimum pricing is whatever it is, somewhere around $1,000. And if they like to move forward with a quote, then you can. But it's good to screen those people as quickly as possible. Yeah,
because you could waste a lot of time because people, they don't understand how much this stuff can cost. And if you are, if you're running around and doing estimates for everyone that calls before you even kind of pre-qualify them, then you're going to waste a shit ton of time for people that are going to be like, oh, I didn't realize it was that expensive. I thought it was going to be a couple $100.
Right. Yeah, so pre-qual on the front end.
Because what happens if you give them all your dollars?
I don't have any dollars for myself. Mike likes to say dollars weird, like a Canadian. Dollars. That's kind of funny. Don't they use a different currency in Canada? Canadian dollars?
Yeah, they do have a different exchange. There's an exchange rate there.
Okay, it's never just a couple $100. Yeah, that's what they think. And here's the thing: when you're doing interruption-based marketing with Christmas lights, a lot of people are going to inquire about the price because a lot of people didn't know the service existed, and they know that they have a want for it, right? Because who wants to put up their Christmas decorations? Not me. And they're just kind of inquiring what the price is. Now, there's some certain tricks that you can utilize to kind of like take advantage of people that come in that way. Some stuff that me and Mike teach within the coaching program. So anyway, but you just need to kind of look at where they're coming from and how high that intent is. I would love that. Okay, so TJ, I run a 6x12 with a 5.5 Predator setup. No software system yet because I 50-50 split my funds for equipment and marketing, all self-built.
Absolutely love it.
Let's get a round of applause for TJ in the chat. Way to go, TJ! So
TJ is doing something unbelievably intelligent. He is not getting caught up in equipment, right? Because equipment can only get you so far. What you need is customers. And how do you get that with marketing? So splitting your funds between the two is absolutely brilliant. And it's one of the major downfalls that so many guys have. They invest everything they can into the equipment. A lot of times they're financing this stuff. A lot of times they're bootstrapping it, or they're just dumping every penny that they've got saved into it, thinking that that's the answer and that's what the business is about, but it's not. It's about the marketing. It's about the sales. It's about getting the customers, because without the customers, there ain't no business.
And I mean, look, I get it. Like, I get from the perspective of let's get the best equipment to get the job done as quickly as possible. But it's just, and the other frame is like you have no customers. So let's get good enough equipment to do the work and then have the customer pay for better equipment. Whenever I first started, I was hauling around a 4 gallon a minute around the house. And it was actually, I was like a 2.5. It was like just a little Home Depot like my dad had in the garage. And so I know how bad that sucks. Dude, the hoses, hauling it around, putting everything in the back of the truck, the gas, like it was the worst.
What are you guys running now?
8 GPMs, hose reels, soft wash systems, like the next level.
The whole shebang, if you will.
That's right. But we graduated because now we got the lead flow. You know what I mean? The lead flow
and the lead flow allows you to reinvest, right? And yeah, like I don't want to roll around with a 5.5 Predator and no soft wash and a 6x12 trailer, right? That was at the beginning of the business where TJ's at now. Now, as you know, time has progressed, we can invest in bigger, better equipment, which allows us to be more proficient and more efficient and more profitable, which is essentially where we all eventually want to be. You don't have to start out there if you can, if you've got the ability to do it comfortably and not have money to eat or not have money to invest in marketing, and not have, like, if you don't have those customers initially, do you have enough money to sustain until you do have those customers? Because I know a guy that had a shit repoed because he bought this $26,000 trailer, and he said, "Oh, I didn't realize it was going to be so hard getting customers." And they actually took his shit back. So, you got to be smart. You got to play smart. You got to, this is all, it's all business. It's all strategy. And if you're not thinking like an intelligent person, if you're not thinking things through, then the opportunity for failure is really high.
There's like posts in groups or like posts in like comment sections and stuff, and it'll be like, I see all these brand new trailers on Facebook Marketplace. It's like, okay, we're not selling anyone trailers that doesn't need them. We're just like, hey, put your money into marketing. At the end of the day, you can only tell. You can only lead the horse to water. Can't make it drink. So we'll tell you guys all day, don't overextend yourself with regards to getting equipment.
And Justin, like the wise man said, I can only explain it to you. I cannot understand it for you.
Dang, Mike drop on that one. Russell says, what is the inner circle? Looking for accountability and other like-minded people to help me along. Looking to build something over the next several months as far as an online presence for spring. I would recommend me and Mike's one-on-one coaching. It's in small groups, about 5 to 10 people usually is in a group. You get to hear what other people are going through. We go through 8 weeks of information, the best stuff that me and Mike have, and it's really good. So if you're looking to like catapult yourself and like really take over next spring, I would highly advise you go on that route. You can email us, email us support@quoteiq.io if you're interested in that. We can send you some more information. But I would say that's probably the best way to go, especially if you want accountability, because every week we have homework, we have accountability. We make sure that you're, doing the right things to kind of push yourself and your business forward. And also the group is accountability, and everybody in the group kind of, feeds off of one another and their accomplishments and stuff. Adam had a question though. How would you guys clean cedar wood houses? What Kims? We actually had this question in the group, in one of our coaching groups.
Yeah.
The answer is we would.
Do not want to use bleach. A lot of times, there are some surfaces that we do not like to do because there is the opportunity. This was what in the group, Justin, he was talking about a stained cedar shake and didn't have a whole lot of information. He hadn't seen it yet, but oxalic acid is something that you can use. Sodium metasilicate is another great wood restoration chemical. What else can you use? Sodium hydroxide is something that some people will use, but the metasilicate, sodium metasilicate is probably one of the best ones. There's a lot of products out there that's the active ingredient. You can buy it straight or you can buy it pre-made. We personally like to, just buy it in bulk in bottles and use it. But yeah, that's how we do all of our wood restoration on fences. There's very little pressure even needed. You simply apply. We do it with, backpack pump up sprayers, and you can just see the magic as it's almost like the rust remover when you're hitting surfaces with rust. It just eats away right in front. It's like magic. But so I would recommend sodium metasilicate. And by all means, please do test spots for us first. And if you want more information on wood restoration, on chemical applications and how to mix things, go check out How to Wash. We put this thing together so people can learn quickly and not make mistakes and not cause damage. And these are things that can happen to everybody out there if you don't know what you're doing. So How to Wash, pwcourse.com, you can check it out. And I'm sure there's some sort of special that you can get on it. But it's got everything, especially there's a huge section on wood restoration. It's called Wood Cleaning Mastery. So check that out.
Boom. Brandon says, 100% agree. I built my 5x10 trailer and found all new equipment and a buyout. I've got $2,000 in all my equipment with soft wash pump and a Predator setup. My first wash job was a $1,200 ticket.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Like paid for your whole setup in 2 washes. So Brandon says, make money, 50-50 profit back into equipment. Looks aren't everything to clients. Completely agree. People try to pull too much money too quick. They try to live off of this business before they even have it off the ground. So reinvesting like that, dude, it'll set you like light years apart from anybody else. Follow Smout pressure washing. He does a live Q&A on Monday nights, UK time. Would be interesting to hear the difference between UK and US. I mean, at the end of the day, it should all be about the same, right, Mike? I mean, besides like the unit of measurement, like it's all organics, it's all treating and cleaning. I mean, out there, they do have a lot more pavers, I think. And so they have to do like the sand in the middle and you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah. I was looking up Smout. I'd never heard of him before.
Yeah, he's got a pressure washing channel. I've talked to him a couple of times. So anyway, yeah, it would be interesting. I think besides like us just having some different types of services, it should all be about the same. Would I need any license to start a pressure washing business as a 15-year-old?
Depends on your jurisdiction, like your locality, what kind of requirements you're gonna, if you're 15 and if you're actually wanting to start a legitimate business, you're gonna want to have some sort of corporate entity, an LLC or something like that. You're going to want to see about any kind of licensing because, Uncle Sam wants his cut. So you're going to have to set up an actual business probably so you can get a tax. There's a lot of stuff that you need to do. So I'd ask your parents.
There you go. Ask your parentals. I mean, I'd also get insurance. So like, because if something messes up or something, like if you get some water and an outlet, like a fire could start. We've been in some situations where like, I'm really glad that we have insurance and stuff. So anyway, it just depends on how serious you want to take it. I would say try to find a business with a little less risk, right? Obviously you're washing houses. Could you pull weeds, trim shrubs, clean windows? Like, I don't know, instead of blasting people's houses with water and stuff. But anyway, all that to say, just be responsible, Hilarious. I would like an estimate. A few things need to move away. You want to take a stab?
I made a short yesterday about that.
Oh, did you really? Okay, I don't know what this dude's talking about.
Dude, what's up? Peaches and Jack aren't here.
Dude, I don't know. Just moved from the free version of Quote IQ to premium version. Love all the streamlined features. We appreciate that.
Thanks.
We really do. Mike with pavers, do you seal after sometimes? Yeah, this is it. Driveways are all brick. We use sand or a special concrete sand called Pro Joint Titan. Yeah. That would be annoying, man. Could you imagine every drive? I guess you charge more, so that's not really a big deal, huh?
Wait, say that again. I'm sorry.
So he's in England. He's saying that the driveways are all brick, and so they have to use sand or a special concrete sand. So, yeah, I guess maybe you can get more money like that. So it's good.
Oh yeah, it's a great add-on service. When we do pavers, we warn the customer that there is sand, and not all pavers are interlocking, but whatever. If there are pavers that have the sand in them, that we say you are going to have this resanded, and that's not a service that we offer. We probably should, but there's not enough call here for it that we've really gotten into it. But it is what it is. In some areas, I know there are people that's all they do is, the cleaning and the resanding.
Absolutely. Okay, sweet. Cool.
I know if you use a downstream injector, you get around 2.5% bleach. Is that enough to wash concrete? Yes, it is, goat.
There you go. It's a goat. Anywho, it's okay.
This guy, Adam, asked Mike, what pavers do you seal after sometimes? And we have not. Not something that we have. We have done it in the past. There are lots of products out there, but it's not something that is prevalent in my area. Like there are not a tremendous amount of pavers, so it's not something that we've ever really had to dive into.
This is a good one. Have you guys seen how they clean roofs in the UK?
They have slate roofs in the UK, and it looks like shingles to us Americans, but it's actually like slate. And so they will use long ass extension poles with little surface cleaners and do it that way. It's crazy.
Why y'all out here washing them wrong? Too much pressure on them roofs. Let's go this one. Is it worth it to quit a job and start knocking doors? Is it worth it to quit a job? I'm assuming like his 9 to 5, like his main job, and just go knock doors.
Yeah, probably not.
Why don't you go knock doors on the weekends and just work your main
job, right? Side hustle it until you make as much as you do. I mean, with limited understanding of your situation and what kind of job you have and all of that. It's, how good are you at talking and selling, right? That's anybody can go and knock on a door, but if you're just going to stand there and look like an idiot, then, but if you've got a little bit of, ability to sell, then probably good.
Yeah, absolutely. So, but if you feel comfortable knocking doors, do that on the weekend and get so much work that you're like, hey, I don't even need this job anymore. Make more money on the weekends than you do like at your job. And then it's like, okay, now it's time to quit. You know what I mean? Not to mention have 6 months of savings in place. Like, dude, have like padding. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Do you do temporary repairs to sidewalk to help extend some life for sidewalk before it has to be replaced? I got some hustle in me. I can speak fluently and professionally. Dude, then get after it. Come on, Manny. You got this, baby. Manny P in the house. He knocks on the door and says, my name is Manny P and I'm ready to clean. So what else we got, Mike? Anything else exciting going on, man? With the business or like, you know what I mean?
No, it's not really. It's,
I think this is one of the things we never talk about, right? Is the fact that like once you have a business that's kind of like you have your systems in place, it loses its allure and its excitement, and it just kind of becomes like a little bit of the grindstone, if you will. You know what I mean? Like in the beginning, I think there's so much like anticipation for all the money that you can make. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, well, it's like anything. Everything is so new and exciting, and but for me, I still enjoy the game as far as the pressure washing business, right? I enjoy the strategies behind customer acquisition. I enjoy seeing how far we can push price. I enjoy seeing how we can reach, out and find bigger and not necessarily better, but higher ticket jobs, right? Commercial stuff. And that is fun for me. And that's what I enjoy doing. And I enjoy going and filming and creating content so we can teach and we can help other people grow their businesses. Those are the things that I love. I don't necessarily care that much anymore about growing the pressure washing business because I don't need to. I mean, we've got Quote IQ, which is really the focus of pretty much all of my time. And I know Justin as well. Like we are 100% dedicated to the growth of that. It's new and it's exciting and we're innovating and we're doing fun things and we're learning every single day. And again, with that, it's also how many customers can you get in front of? What's the best way to acquire new customers? Like these are all the things. It's all back to, what we're passionate about, which is the marketing and the sales, which is what we try to help and teach on our channels all the time. Unfortunately, Justin, what do these guys want to talk about most of the time?
What, marketing or
No, they want to talk about
equipment?
All
right. This is a good question. Where's it at? I lost it. What was year 1 and 2 like? What was your year 1 and 2 like, Mike?
Oh, year 1 and year 2 was it was tough. It was a long time ago. But the guys that have watched this channel for a while, they know that I purchased an existing business. I bought it for $45,000. It came with 2, and I'll say employees because they weren't great. I ended up firing them almost immediately. And 2 trailers that were, probably 5 or 6 years old. And fortunately, the business was, it was a side hustle as well. And all they were doing was commercial stuff. They had like 2 routes. And I think it was about maybe 2.5 days worth of work every week, and not even full days, like, 4 or 5 hours every night or early morning doing stuff. And so it was a complete learning curve for me because I had no understanding whatsoever about the equipment, the chemicals, the processes, procedures. I was having to learn the routes, the customers, implementing all kinds of new, how we were sending invoices out and estimates. Like, it was all on paper. I was printing them. I was mailing them. I was stuffing envelopes and stamping and licking and and again, this is 20 years ago. So we didn't have the technology that we had then. And so, yeah, it was, just like today, when you start a new business, you're learning everything. Now, what I wish I had back then was YouTube and all these people out there that are helping and trying to help and provide great information. And, because you really can shortcut the learning curve. If I had the resources that are available to you guys now that are just starting out back then, I would be 10 times, 20 times ahead of where I am now. Right. And so, that's how it was. It was the same, but different. It's always a struggle. It's always tough.
Mike, is your dog snoring right now?
Yeah, she's so loud. And she will not shut, and I don't have anything soft to throw at her.
Millie, come on. Millie's got the snores. I was like, I thought some fan was like on rotation in there. I was like, what
no, it's Millie snoring. She's so loud. Yeah, you.
Chris, do you recommend pulling pure surfactant or watering it down a bit?
What do you say?
Never pull pure surfactant. Do you recommend pulling pure surfactant or watering it down a bit?
No, what you do is you follow the instructions on the bottle. They're going to tell you exactly how to apply it.
It's going to be way too dense if you pulled it pure. I don't know. Anyway, maybe I'm misunderstanding that question. Justin, how big is your pressure washing team, and when did you make that transition? Was it hard to do that? And what were a few pieces of advice for growing past solopreneur? Okay, so for me, it looked a little bit different. For a long time, I did it by myself, and I had like really bad equipment. And then I started to collaborate with people that were bringing in the equipment piece, and I was focusing on the things that I like most, which was marketing and sales and closing deals and things of that nature. So I kind of removed myself a bit. Recently, I've been kind of putting myself back in a little bit more, and so we're gonna be growing a team here. But I would say advice for growing past a solopreneur: be diversified. You know what I mean? I think that's one of the things me and Mike have done really well at, is being diversified with regards to our income, and then picking and choosing what things we want to do. You know what I mean? And then kind of filling the pieces on everything that we don't want to do. So that's what I would suggest. Put yourself in a position where you have the freedom to make those kind of choices. Wouldn't you say so, Mike?
Yeah. Right. And I think more importantly than anything is like understanding, and so many people, this solopreneur word, right? Like, there's nothing wrong with being a solopreneur, right? You're a small business. You don't have to be a big business immediately. Don't try to scale before you're ready to scale, right? That's when things go wrong. If you've got a tremendous amount of lead flow and you can't keep up with all the jobs that are coming in consistently for 6-7 months at a time, right? Or even more, then it's not time to grow, because you're going to be doing a disservice to somebody. And that's my personal opinion. So
I like that his name is Roger, that pressure washing. My name used to be Rogers Pressure Washing, and I was passing out flyers one time, and they were pressure washing flyers, and some dude texted me and said, "Hey Roger, how much would you charge to come blow leaves in my yard?" And I was like, My last name is Rogers. That's why it was that. But anyway, just a fun little story. Little
I
tip.
also, well, and I don't want to offend anybody, but I was told many, many years ago never to name the business after yourself. And then right around the same time, I was told never be like the actual like logo face of your business, because at any time you want to sell it, then you're kind of stuck with that. I used to, my logo, which is again the most stolen logo in the pressure washing industry. Dude, I just had another guy send me a picture from some Facebook group, and this guy took my logo and he put a cowboy hat on it and a mullet, and it was awesome. But still, like, you know, and the guy was awesome. He's up from like Pittsburgh, and he was like, dude, I'm so sorry, I didn't know it. I paid one of my buddies like $10 and told him to make me a logo, and that's what he did. But long story short, it was a picture of myself. That was our logo, and it was in that silly, you know, pose that I did. And then when I heard that, I was like, okay, probably time not to be the face. So we turned it into a silhouette, which is, you know, more distinct anyway. But yeah, just be cautious about how you name your business.
Absolutely. Tyler says my year 1 was and my year 2 is going way better. That's because you got to lay the foundation. You know what I mean? We talk all the time about kind of pushing that snowball over the hill. And until you kind of have everything in place, you get your marketing in place, you get your equipment down pat, you know your procedures, you dialed in your pricing. Like, these things take time. And that's why I always say, like, don't pull money out of the business too soon, because you're still learning these things. You know what I mean? And when you do that, you kind of set yourself up for failure in a way.
Yeah.
Right, Mike?
Absolutely.
Why didn't you start your own from scratch? Manny wants to know, Mike, your own business.
Well, I never had any intention of starting a pressure washing business ever. And I had a friend who was in banking finance, and he had started the business with his father-in-law, and they had some commercial connections. And then it went, you know, they, like I said, they, anyway, yeah, there was no, because I've never thought to myself, oh, I want to start a pressure washing business. I had a buddy that had one, and he said he was going to close it down or sell it, didn't know what. And another friend of mine said, Mike, you should buy it because you're really good at sales, and this could be really good for you. And so I did. It was a risk, and it was an investment, and it has paid off.
One thing as well, it's not like noble to like start your own business rather than buying one. It's actually like a known fact that people who are successful buy other businesses because there's already a foundation laid. Mike didn't have to go out and like put together all the equipment and find the employee. Like, he bought a business that was already like up and going, so he gave himself an advantage. He also gave himself an advantage because he didn't start in the business. Like, a lot of guys start in the business and they can never let go of the product, or they feel like when they hire people on, then the work is going to degrade. So I would say in a lot of ways, Mike purchasing his business, and it was 20 years ago, right? Like, it was a much different time than it is now. But I would say it was a better decision, you know?
Yeah.
Would you say that it's a high pressure job, Mike? It's pretty good. Dewey's in the house. Well, hello there, y'all. The washing wizard is among us.
Well, dude, the washing wizard doesn't say y'all, Dewey. Remember, he's British with an Australian twang.
Is he really? What would that sound like?
Hello, mate. Cheerio. We're going to be washing the sidewalk today.
Oh, God. You nailed it, Mike. One thing I do want to let you guys know before we go any further is that I'm doing a class, live Facebook ads workshop. First link in the comment section description. It's going to be this Thursday, 6:30 p.m. I'll be walking you guys through an ad that landed us $80,000 in quotes, my video ad script, how I structure ad copy, how I set up the back end to maximize on conversions, and basically the things that I do so I don't waste a bunch of money, because a lot of people are wasting money. So if you guys want to jump into that, first link in the comment section description, go ahead and get in now. It's super cheap. It's ridiculously cheap. Like, you can't even go to dinner for how much the class is. Big Papa, starting a pressure washing side gig. Do I need to start an LLC first?
Yeah, probably. I mean, there are reasons that we have LLCs. There are reasons that we have insurance, and I go over these extensively in pretty much every single live, as well as multiple videos on the channel. These are things that you set up to protect your business, protect yourself. So if something happens, you're not losing everything. So I would definitely suggest, if you're servicing somebody's, if you're on their property and there's a potential for any kind of damage, then you need to protect yourself.
That's right. You're taking a risk whenever you don't have it. So just something to keep in mind. Any tips on landing 2 jobs a day? Get in front of as many people as possible with a great offer. That's all.
Yep.
Find somebody to do the work, Manny. If you're good at knocking doors, then partner up with somebody. Say, hey, you do the work. I'll go knock doors. Once I land 2 jobs for the day, then I'll help you out and we'll work together. You know what I mean? Like, bing, bang, boom. Knock it out. Josh says, Manny, you for real? Josh doesn't play around out here. Adam says, I worked for a company that surface cleaned Walmart entryways. They paid $7 an hour, and it was a night pressure washing.
Wow.
Interesting.
I don't even what's minimum wage?
Not higher than $7. It was like $7.25 back when I was like 18 years old. So
when I got my first job, Justin, I
Yeah.
worked at McDonald's, and I was 14
worked
years
at
old.
McDonald's your first job, Mike?
Yeah, I was 14. It was the only, I've always been somebody that's wanted to work, right? And it wasn't like I didn't need to work. I wanted to work. Like, I loved the idea of making money. And so my first job was at McDonald's, and I was 14. I actually had to have the principal of my school sign some sort of thing you could only work 20 hours a week. And so I would work, on the weekends, and a couple, I don't even think I was maxing out to 20, but I couldn't drop fries. I couldn't be in the back, cooking. So I could either work the drive-through, the front counter, or what they had me doing all weekends was making salads. McDonald's used to have salads. And I assure you, you never want to eat a salad from McDonald's because they don't have a whole lot of quality control. But long story short, I used to work at McDonald's, and I forgot where I was going. Oh, $4.25 an hour is what minimum wage was back then.
I mean, $4.25 really, it could go a lot farther back then. You could watch a movie for a nickel back then. You know what I mean, Mike?
You could not watch a movie
back in your day.
nickel.
You could go to the movies and get a popcorn and a Coke for 25 cents.
God, how old is that?
I used to watch a movie for a nickel. I feel like my grandpa.
So that was in 1988.
Damn, that was a while ago.
I'm an older gentleman.
Well, distinguished is the way we like to refer to it.
That's true.
Okay, this is a great question. I do like this question from Manny. I'm in sobriety. Is Living Clean Property Services LLC a good business name?
Okay. Congratulations, and I hope that you continue with the journey. I'm sure it's a difficult one. I hate when people try to incorporate things like religion or this particular aspect. Like, if you were a marathon runner, would you call it runners pressure washing because you like but Living Clean, right? Like, Living Clean, it's kind of like a double entendre, dual purpose, meaning blah, blah, blah. So, I mean, it could be cool, but like, what if you fall off the wagon and you're not? And every time you look at your rig or your logo and you're like, God dang it, I failed. So, Justin. Anyway, I'll keep talking. Okay, let's see. Who else do we have? Do you collect the runoff water, or can you just leave it there when talking about a pressure washing business I'm trying to start? I want to stick to driveway and deck cleaning. Depends on where you are, Goat.
Because then his whole business would be a lie, right?
What's that?
Manny's whole business would be a lie if he said Living Clean. The thing is don't attach like what's going into your life into the business. Do this. Look up the top companies in your area. Google pressure washing, enter in your city, and then go to GMB. See who the top companies are and see what their names are. I guarantee they're probably just model success, Manny. That's all I'm going to say. You know what I mean? The last thing you want is for a customer to be like, hey, why is your name Living Clean? Which they never will. They don't care about what your name is. But then you have to go into this whole story about how you used to be blah, 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 down the road. Like, just be as professional as possible. In my personal opinion. Mike, what do you think about that?
Yeah, I agree.
Okay. Model success, right? Well, like Nike. If I was going to make a shoe company, would I just name it like whatever I thought would be a good shoe name? Or would I try to find something to model that was already successful?
Yeah.
So,
real quick, no, we don't collect wastewater runoff. And if you're 15 and you're asking the questions that you're asking, you can't afford a water reclamation system. but it also goes to, where you live. And in some areas, they might be more, tough on that. Have never seen anybody or heard of anybody that has had an issue with not collecting water runoff.
Guys, we need a word of the day, so go ahead and throw it in the chat now. If you want to be the word of the day picker, I do want to let you guys know that I'm going to be doing a workshop, and it's going to be next Thursday. And so we're getting down to the wire. It's going to be the first link in the comment section description if you want to join. I've already talked about it a couple of times, but it's going to be ad breakdowns. How, we did over $80,000 in quotes with one ad, the video ad script breakdown, how I structure the ad copy, how I set up the back end. You don't want to miss it. And it's super cheap for the value.
Okay, but I do want to answer one thing. Payne Tyler says Payne's pressure washing comes up in the top 5 in a lot. And that's not as a result of your name. I'm not saying don't name it. Like, what you name your business has nothing to do with how it's going to rank, right? The work that you do to get it to rank is what's going to matter as far as visibility on the interweb. So what I'm saying is, like, if you're ever planning to exit, get out of it, sell it, having your last name associated with it. I got a buddy, his name's Lamar Burdett. Lamar he bought a body shop probably 30 years ago called Akins and Bob Collision. Akins and Bob Collision had been around for a long time. Lamar bought it, and I just felt bad for him. It's like, who's Akins and who's Bob? He's like, no, I'm Lamar, I'm the owner. Well, who's Akins and Bob? So it can actually be, if there is any intent ever to sell, it's something to think about when you're naming your business. Like, that's all.
Okay, sweet. Adam has the word of the day. It's Sudsucker. If you guys made this far in the video, comment that down below. Mike, anything else we want to mention before we wrap this video up?
No, I think we've touched it all.
What?
I think we've touched on a lot of things that are really good. You know what I was thinking about, and we haven't talked about this, but I want to do something for, like, the Quote IQ users. And I'm actually in the process of editing a video right now about, it doesn't matter what it's about, but one of the things there was a piece of equipment that was about $2,000. And the premise of the video, you guys can watch it when it comes out. But Justin, this is what I want to do. I want to give away $2,000 to a Quote IQ user. I want to give away $2,000. $2,000. I want to give away $2,000 to any Quote IQ user that is loving the app, that uses the app, that is going to take their little phone, turn it around, and do a testimonial and send it to us, right? Just, hey, my name's Mike. I use Quote IQ, and I really enjoy the quoting features. I love InstaQuote. It's made my business a lot more professional, whatever, right? Like, I want you to tell us what you like about Quote IQ, because, A, I want to give somebody $2,000. B, think about how many people are actually going to do it. There's not a whole lot, but I'm still going to give away $2,000. And so your odds of winning, if you do it, are huge. So we'll put some formal stuff out shortly, but if anybody's watching, they want to make a testimonial video, you want to get entered to win $2,000, send us a video, right? And tell us your name, your company, where you're at, why you like Quote IQ, and then we'll figure out, how you send it to us.
$2,000.
What do you think?
Yeah, sweet. Let's rock and roll, baby. We're all about it. Manny says he'd be down to make one.
Good. Go make them right now and email them to us. I guess you'd have to probably upload them to YouTube.
That's how we want them to be sent to us. Upload to YouTube. Type in, make the title Quote IQ review, something of that effect. Yeah,
Quote IQ review, Quote IQ testimonial, and then upload it to YouTube and send it to me.
2,000
smackaroos.
That's correct, Adam. Okay, sweet. We're going to wrap it here. The word of the day is Sudsucker. If you made this far in the video, comment down below, Sudsucker. My name is Joseph.
Do you know what a Sudsucker is, Justin?
No, what is that?
It's called the Super Sudsucker, and it's made by a company called EnviroSpec in Homerville, Georgia.
You would know a thing or two about something that
does I know a thing, but what it does is it's like a high rate chemical injector, so it pulls a bunch of chemical. I personally hate EnviroSpec.
It literally sucks suds, if you will.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but I hate EnviroSpec.
I'm gonna wrap this video here if you're okay with that, Mike.
Say why do you hate EnviroSpec?
Why do you hate EnviroSpec?
Well, I hated the old owner. I think they sold it since, so I probably shouldn't say it. But
Why are you
okay,
slandering the old owner?
yeah, screw that guy.
If you made this far in the video, comment down below, #SoulCircle, #your own. My name is Joseph. Hopefully, get that money, baby. Peace.